Hello students, welcome to online classes of geography of class 11. This is my second class of your chapter number 2, structure and physiography. By mistake in your note it is mentioned note 1. It's just a mistake of printing. It is my second note, means you will get the second note. So this is my second class. Now the topic that I am going to discuss today is the physiography of India, the northern and the northeastern Himalaya, and the categories of Himalayan region, that is Kashmir Himalaya, Himachal Himalayas, Darjeeling Himalaya, Arunachal Himalayas, and eastern hills and the mountains. So today I am going to discuss first about the physiography of India. Now what does the term physiography means? Actually physiography means the structure that is due to the resultant of the various processes and at the various stages of development. Now here the processes means the geological processes. There are some forces that is continuously activating to develop these processes, like I said in the previous class, the geological cycle, that is hydrological cycle, rock cycle, tectonic cycle, and the two forces that is continuously activating to work on these or to make this cycle much more in motion, that is endogenic and exogenic forces. So this is related to the outcome of the structure and the stages of development. In one word we term it as physiography. So due to these various activities of on the earth surface of India, we are having following physiographic divisions. Now what are those physiographic divisions? Number 1, northern and northeastern mountains, northern plain, peninsular plateau, Indian desert, coastal plain, and island groups. Now quickly we will take a look of all these features on the Indian physical map. You just see the map, you can find out that the northern part of our country, this is the northern, and this is the northeastern part, which is having the mountainous structure, northeastern part and the northern part, which is having the mountainous structure. Now next we will move to the plain area, northern plains. You can find out the green tinge that is being shaded out over there, the northern plain which is there in these areas, that is northern plains. Then we will go to the western part, that is Indian desert, Great Indian Desert. Then we are having the Deccan Plateau and the Central Highlands. The Deccan Plateau and the Central Highlands, that is the central part of our country. Then we are having the island, that is the coastal groups. We are having the coastal groups. Now you can see that two tinges are there beside the coastal group. One is bluish shade and another one we are having little bit of, that is magenta color. So the magenta color is indicating the coastal plain and the bluish one is indicating the western Ghat and the eastern Ghat region on the two edges, that is the Ghat region, which is a part of Deccan Plateau or the Peninsular Plateau. Lastly we are having the two island groups, Lakshadweep island groups and the Arabian Sea, that is on the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. We are having the Andaman Nicobar island group. So this is the physiographic divisions of our country. Now we are going to detail up about the northeastern mountain. Now northeastern mountain, let me just mark it out, the Himalayan parts. Now you can see this is the Jammu Kashmir region, this is Kashmir Himalaya. This is Kashmir Himalaya. This is Kashmir Himalaya. One is Himachal, another one is Uttarakhand. We are having two states over there, and this entirely is Uttaranchal or Himachal Himalayas. Himachal or Uttaranchal Himalayas. Next you can find out the Sikkim part. And just below that we are having the northern part of West Bengal, that is Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayas. It is Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayas. Then we are having Arunachal Himalayas. This Arunachal Pradesh region, that is Arunachal Himalayas. And lastly, this is Eastern Hills. These are Eastern Hills and Mountains. These are Eastern Hills and Mountains. So, Kashmir Himalaya, Uttarakhand or Uttaranchal and Himachal Himalayas, Sikkim and Darjeeling Himalayas, Arunachal Himalayas and Eastern Hills and the Mountains. So these are the 5 divisions of Himalayan region of our country that we term it as a North and Northeastern mountains. I am just proceeding with it. The northern and northeastern mountain consist of the Himalayas and the northeastern hills, and it consists a series of parallel mountain ranges. We are having a series of parallel mountain ranges. We are having the Great Himalayas, Trans Himalayas, Middle Himalayas, Shivalik. We know that is Greater Himalaya, Outer Himalaya, Shivalik ranges, Lesser Himalayas. All these are the parallel ranges. Now basically their orientation, or they move from northwest to northeast direction. Now Himalayas in the Darjeeling and Sikkim lies in the east and west directions. Arunachal Pradesh, they form southwest to northwest directions, and in Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, north-south direction. These are some specification of the categories of the Himalayas, of the directions that is there in this entire stretch. And the total stretch of the Himalaya is 2500 km, width is 160 to 400 km. And what is another very much important specific characteristics of this entire belt, that it is the physical barrier as well as it is a climatic, drainage and cultural divide. It is climatic divide, that means it blocks the moisture laden winds, or it also blocks the cold winds to come from the Central Asia. Drainage, that means it gives the evolution to the all the important perennial rivers, and cultural divide means we are having that entire cultural within this part. Outside this there is a total a different culture part, so it is a cultural divide too. And as I mentioned, all the Himalayas, the parts of the Himalayas with the help of the map, that is only it's followed that the divisions of the Himalayas are of 5: Kashmir, Himachal, Sikkim, Arunachal and Eastern Hills mountain. Now let us proceed with the detailing up of this Kashmir or northwestern Himalayas. Now Kashmir, it is having a series of Karakoram, Ladakh, Zaskar and Pir Panjal ranges. Now it is a cold desert region and it is between Karakoram and Greater Himalayas. And the very important famous Kashmir Valley, the Valley of Flowers, Kashmir Valley and Dal Lake is situated over here. And there are many important glaciers. Hopefully you are familiar about the name Siachen Glacier, Baltoro glaciers, which are present in this part. The Kashmir regions are also famous for Karevas formation. Now hopefully you people are very much fond of biryani, and over there the very important ingredient which is used to give the scent or the essence of that biryani is saffron or saffron. So the color, so basically this saffron is being cultivated over there and it is termed as Kareva formation, which are useful for cultivation of the saffron or the saffron. Now next, some important mountain passes are present over here: Jojila Pass, Pir Panjal, Potulu La, Khardung La on the Ladakh region. These are important passes. Now obviously it will be a region of freshwater lakes, so Dal and Wular are very important. Not only fresh water, in this part there are some salt water lake too, named as Pangong So and So Moriri are also two important salt water lake. Here the concentration of the salinity is comparatively high and the freshness means the salt content is more over here. That is why, though it is getting the water from the melted glacier, but then due to excessive saline or salinity, these are saltwater lake. Now next, this region is drained by river Indus, tributaries Jhelum, Chenab, and the landscape of the Himalayas is the major source of the attraction of various adventurer tourists, like we are having the pilgrimage of Vaishnav Devi, Amarnath, Charare Sharif. These are some of the important, and one very most important is the longitudinal valleys known as duns. Now here we are having Jammu Dun, Pathan Dun. Dun means actually valleys, longitudinal valleys. Pathankot Dun are some of the important examples. So these are the basic features related to the Kashmir Himalayas. Now let us move to the next, that is Himachal or Uttarakhand Himalayas. Now it is an extension of the Ladakh cold desert, and the three Himalayan ranges are very much prominent over here. Now what are those three Himalayan ranges? The Greater Himalayan, the Lesser Himalayas, and the Shivalik ranges are very much prominent over here. Now in this section, the height of the Lesser Himalayas varies between 1000 to 2000 meter. Important hill stations are very much prominent, like Mussoorie, Dharmshala, then town health resorts are there, Shimla, Mussoorie, Almora, Ranikhet. These are very much familiar and common. And lastly, the two distinguishing features of this region, that is Shivalik and Dun formations, are over here. Now what is the difference between Shivalik and Dun formation? Shivalik is basically a mountain, it's a hilly region, mountain, and Dun formation means it's a valley formation. So we are having common duns present over here, Dehradun, Patli Dun, Kotli Dun, which are very much common, and within these within these valleys we got the that is the pilgrimage that is very much famous over here. Is within this Shivalik region is the Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Hemkund Sahib. All these are very much important. Now next, the region is also famous for Prayag, that is confluence of the river. 5 famous Prayags are over here. In this, 5 famous Prayags are over here. That means the river confluence, or if you remember the term Doabs, confluence of the river means Doabs. Now let us move to the Darjeeling and the Sikkim Himalayas. Now the Darjeeling and the Sikkim Himalayas, it is flanked by the Nepal Himalayas in the west and Bhutan Himalayas in the east. That means Darjeeling and Sikkim Himalaya is a sandwich between Nepal Himalaya and Bhutan Himalaya. It is relatively small, most significant part of the, but most significant among the entire stretch of Himalaya, and very much important fast flowing river is Tista. Now the important peak present over here is Kanchenjunga. The higher reaches of the region are inhabited by the group of tribe that is named as Lepcha tribe. Tea plantation is very common over here. You know the plantations of tea is very, Darjeeling is famous for tea plantation. The absence of Shivaliks. Absence of Shivalik means the hilly region part is comparatively as Shivalik absence are over here. But Duar formations are over here. Now Duar, what is Duar? Duar means door. Actually the word Duar has been taken from that Hindi word Duar, means door. So door of what? Door for the beginning or the formation of the plains. From here the low lying level land formation begins due to the deposition brought down by the rivers, or deposition of the sediments brought down by the rivers. So this is Duar formation. Now next is Arunachal Himalayas. Now it is between Bhutan Himalayas, it is in the east, it is Bhutan Himalayas, and mountain passes there in the east, extreme east. Actually it is its west is Bhutan and its east is Difu Pass. In the western part it is Bhutan and in the eastern part it is Difu Pass. Now the general direction of the mountain range is southwest to northeast. Southwest to northeast. Now some of the important mountain peaks are Kangtu, Namcha Barwa, These ranges are dissected by the fast flowing rivers from north to south, making deep gorges. Now, Dihang Gorge is very much famous. From there, the important river, that is Sangpo, which originates from Tibetan part, enters through the gorge, making a gorge from this area, that is Dihang Gorge, and it is one of the important part of this Arunachal Himalayas. Now, some of the other important rivers are Kameng, Subansri, Dihang, Dibang, Lohit. These are some of the important other rivers beside Brahmaputra. These are perennial with the high rate of all, thus having the highest, that is high rate of fall. Actually, it will be high rate of fall. And when the rate of fall is high, what is the resultant? It is an ideal source for that is development of hydroelectricity power. It is having the potentiality to generate hydroelectricity because the waterfalls are very high. Now, the important tribes that basically resides over here is Abor, Meshmi, Nishi, Nagas, Dafla, Monpa. These are some important tribes, and as they are the tribal, for their own subsistence, they practice shifting cultivation termed as jhuming, and it is also termed as slash and burn cultivation. Now, let us move to the last category of the Himalayan section, that is the eastern hills and the mountains. Now, these are the parts of the Himalayan system having their general alignment from north to south. That means from Arunachal Pradesh, it is moving down towards the part of that Bay of Bengal direction. So, alignment is from north to south. They are known by different local names. In the north, they are named as Patkaibam. In Nagaland, it is Naga Hill. In Manipur, it is Manipur Hills. In Mizoram, it is Mizo or Lusrai Hills. Now, these are low hills. These are also inhabited by large number of tribal groups which are in practice of jhuming cultivation. Most of these ranges are basically separated or dissected by the small streams or numerous small rivers. Now, one important river of the Manipur and Mizoram is the Barak River. The physiography of Manipur is very much unique. Why? Because in between there is a lake named as Loktak Lake, and it is entirely surrounded by the hills. The lake is entirely surrounded by the hill. So, it is having a very picturesque location, the Loktak Lake at the center, surrounded by mountains from all the sides. And Mizoram, where it is basically made up of unconsolidated sediment, the sediment which is not very much consolidated, which is not very much stiff, which is comparatively very much sticky or slaggy type of nature, or its that is a structure, and because of this it is termed as molasses basin, that is it's in a molten condition, molasses basin. So, this is one of the basic feature of a Mizoram part, molasses basin. So, here all the features of the Himalayan parts is over. Your duty is to note down all these features of all the Himalayan groups in your copy, the order it is given. If it is possible, paste one map and point out all the divisions of Kashmir, Himachal, then comes Sikkim and Darjeeling, then Arunachal Himalayas and Eastern Himalayas according to their orientation. If you are having any doubts, please mention it in the comment section. Hopefully, you class 11 students are sincerely following the class, because it is already the class has been delayed. So, we are proceeding in that order regularly. So, please follow the class regularly, both the video and the theory part that is being given in the site. Thank you for following my class. Have a nice day.